Category 1 license renewal hearing for Mountain View Thoroughbred Racing, doing business as Hollywood Casino at Penn National. Before we begin, if we could please all turn off our cell phones or turn them to vibrate so we don't interrupt our speakers today. I would also like to remind everyone that the proceeding is being recorded today by a court reporter sitting over here to my left, and is also being recorded via video and streamed live at the moment to the board's website. So if you should, in the future, desire to watch this all over again, it will be up on our website for your viewing pleasure. As the presiding officer, I call this hearing to order. The date is Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. The time is 10:31, and the location is the East Hanover Township Municipal Building at 8848 Jonestown Road in Grantville, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Racehorse Development and Gaming Act, as amended, requires at Section 1326 that an operator's license shall be subject to renewal by the board every 5 years. This license renewal public input hearing is convened pursuant to a mandate found in Section 1205 that requires, as part of the renewal process, that a public hearing be held in the municipality where the licensed facility is located. This public hearing was advertised on the board's website, announced by the board chair at public board meetings, and advertised in local newspapers. And board members present for today's hearing are, to my immediate right, our chair, Denise Smiler, and to my left, Commissioners Frank Dermody and David Hinkernell. So the hearing will begin with a presentation by Penn National, and after that presentation, our Office of Enforcement Counsel and the board will have an opportunity to ask your witnesses questions. And after that is concluded, the Office of Enforcement Counsel will make its presentation, again with the board and counsel for Penn National having the opportunity to ask questions of the witnesses. At the close of this testimony and evidence from the parties, those individuals who have registered to speak today at the hearing during the public comment period will have their name called, and all public speakers will provide 5 minutes to provide their thoughts regarding the license renewal. Following the close of the public comment period, Penn National and OEC will have the opportunity for a short closing statement. So now, if I can have all witnesses from Penn National and the Office of Enforcement Counsel who are going to testify, if you could stand and raise your right hand to be sworn by the court reporter.
Good morning. Do you swear? If you don't swear, do you affirm to tell nothing but the truth today?
I do.
Yes. If you can all lower your hand, and just before you start speaking,
Racing Association, and today the Hollywood Casino at Penn National Racecourse. Very pleased to be here today in connection with the renewal of our Category 1 slot license. With me here today is the team from the casino, who I suspect you may remember from last week. But to my immediate right, Alex Vizda, HVIZDA, who is the Regional Director of Compliance. And just going along here, Tony Frabile, F-R-A-B-B-I-E-L-E, who's the Vice President and General Manager of the property. Michelle Collins, C-O-L-L-I-N-S, who's the Vice President and Assistant General Manager. And Kim Rego, R-E-G-O, who's the Vice President of Human Resources. So I'm going to get out of the way here and immediately turn this over to Tony and his team. They're going to walk you through this PowerPoint, and then we'll move through the process. Tony?
Thank you, Adrian. Madam Chair, members of the board, East Hanover Township, thank you for hosting us today and your accommodations. It's truly appreciated. What I would like to start off with is just a brief overview and introduction of our executive team, most of which are here today, either as Adrian mentioned, up here testifying with us or in the audience. One position we do have open currently is our CFO VP of Finance. We are conducting a search and are very close to hopefully getting that position solidified and back on board with us very, very soon. So I'd like to start off talking about I think moving forward from the Gaming Act of 2017 and where we are today, and really the 5-year period from our last license renewal and all that's transpired, which is quite a lot. Not only did we have the pandemic, which changed our business in a lot of ways, but at Penn, we were, I think, industry leaders in going in and taking the opportunity to lead in Cat 4s and innovative ways of continuing to grow gaming across the Commonwealth. We were the first licensee of a Cat 4. Our bid for our York property, $50 million, the highest bid on record for Pennsylvania, was led through our efforts. We were the first operator to take a legal sports bet inside of the Commonwealth at our property. We were the first to launch an iCasino app with our HollywoodCasino.com. We were also the first one to bring it into the Apple Store. We also are the only casino operator to partner in the VGT operations with Rudders and TA, over 30 locations that we support now across the Commonwealth. We also have another Cat 4 that we opened up in Morgantown with a license that we won over in that part of the state in Berks County. We've also brought on live dealer casinos and have partnered with the PGCB in bringing new innovative technology like cashless wagering and being the first in the state to do that. So we really pride ourselves in doing things that are new, innovative, and add value not only to the revenues that we generate for the Commonwealth, but also our customers and shareholders of our company. Our property, as you know, has been around for over 50 years, and we are almost into 17 years as a casino operator. So we've had a nice history here in Grantville, and we continue to reinvest to make sure that our property stays fresh and we have a great offering for those that come to visit it. With our sportsbook reinvestment, we were $6.3 million into that operation, which we believe is one of the marquee sportsbook assets across the Commonwealth, and something that we're very proud of and has been a nice addition to the property. And then on the maintenance side, we've just recently, in 2023, wrapped up our carpet replacement to put fresh carpet back into the property. And we are currently underway and almost concluding our manganese filtration system at the property, which will improve the water quality that we have. We are on a well system here in Grantville, and we also have our own water treatment facility. So we take that very seriously and want to make sure that we do everything to offer the best that we can back to our community with those facilities and utilities. And we're not stopping there. We're continuing to find ways, and I'm optimistic that I'll have more to share with you on those fronts as we look to be more energy efficient and be more green as an operator in the casino space and lead the way there as well. By the numbers, I think you can all see, how much gross revenues we've generated since 2008 and the amount of taxes that we've paid, which is, I think, a very impressive number that has come back to the Commonwealth. Some of the things that I'm particularly proud of, and one of the biggest reasons why I love working in Pennsylvania in the gaming industry, is what we see in reinvestment back in our communities through our local share assessment. You see that around Grantville with our fire station. You saw it when I was in Meadows back there in the fire station that we helped build back in that side. And also how that money is deployed across Dauphin and Lebanon County to support small businesses that really need that boost in order to get going. Over $280 million has been put out to assist those in Dauphin and Lebanon County, which is a phenomenal thing. And as Alex gets into his presentation, we don't stop there. As you'll hear from the philanthropic efforts that we take seriously inside of communities that we work in order to make sure that we do what we can to make the greater Dauphin County and Grantville area a better place to live. I'm also proud of the amount of wages and health benefits that we've spent over the years in order to give better jobs and better lives to those that live and work in our property and in the horse racing community. I think those are the things that I would like to call out of those numbers, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have later. The other point that I would like to touch on before moving on is on our vendor spend. We spend about $12 million annually in purchases, and we have about 64 different minority business and women-owned businesses that we've used over the past 5 years that we like to partner with. And our procurement team has done a phenomenal job in finding those partners and utilizing them at every opportunity we can, whether it's in our construction projects or the everyday purchases that we have across the property, or in some of our HR and team member events. We try to find every window of opportunity to be able to support those businesses that truly are in need. We are also proud sponsors of the following organizations: the Women's Business Enterprise National Council, National Minority Supplier Diversity Council, U.S. Pacific Islander and Asian Chamber, the U.S. Black Chamber, National Gay Lesbian Chamber, the U.S. Hispanic Chamber, and the National Veteran-Owned Business Administration. And to further the point on the veteran side, we do a lot that you'll hear about with our Penn Hero Stage that Michelle will tell you about later today. And we gave over $100,000 back to Pennsylvania veterans in the past 2 years to support PA veterans in need. So I would like to turn to the state of the Commonwealth from a gaming perspective and really focus on how it's changed from fiscal year 2018-2019 to fiscal year 23-24. In 2018-2019, which is when I entered into the state and working in Pennsylvania, 99% of our revenues were generated by brick and mortar casinos. And then as we saw through the opening of the Gaming Act and the addition of sports wagering, iCasino, VGTs, the landscape has changed quite a bit. And brick and mortar casinos now are 58% of that revenue mix. And 41% is coming from what we can track on those online entities, VGTs, and other areas. And when you look at that business and what we've been able to see inside of our database, is that it's mostly accretive. And we brought a new customer into gaming, which is good to see in the 21 to 34 segment, and customers that we typically don't see as much and as frequent inside of our brick and mortar casinos. Yet, we do not see the growth coming out of all the additions to our brick and mortar facilities, so it leads us to ask the question, well, why is that? Well, when we look at VGTs, we know there are about 75 of those locations within that we operate. There's a total of about 375 VGTs across the state. There's only one real VGT location that's within a 10-mile radius to PNRC, and that has 5 units, which is what the maximum allowed in a location for VGTs. So when we look at what could be also putting pressure on gaming, we've looked to skill games. And we recently conducted a search, and Alex led this search, around a 10-mile radius of our property. And what we found was over 77 locations and 325 and counting skill games. And some of those are in parlors that have upwards of 10 games. And we've seen them in convenience stores, we've seen them in restaurants and taverns, and as you know, they are untaxed, unregulated, and we continue to see them expand. Since our survey, we've discovered that Turkey Hill Mini Mart locations are adding, which is owned by EG America. We also have seen them go into another operation that lives, or that's within a 10-mile radius of PNRC. So it continues to grow, and we don't know how much it's growing. So we just wanted to highlight, again, skill games and its position in the state and how much competition of that we face out there that is really unknown to a certain degree, how much impact it's having on our business, but we know it's having some effect. And as of last week, some of you were there in our petition, and we believe that's a big reason why we continue to see pressure on the slot side of our business. and we're leading the way in trying to reimagine our business and reposition it to be more competitive in the market. And with that, I'll turn it to Michelle Collins so she can talk about our operations and what we're doing from that front.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning. As Tony mentioned, I will be talking about the operations side of the business. And as we discuss the impact of gaming expansion and skill games, it is clear that slots have been the most affected. To see. In response to that, we have recently been granted approval to reduce the number of slot machines to 1,532. Despite this reduction, our commitment to providing a wide variety of games for players has not wavered. We continue to allocate capital funds each year on new slots to ensure that our floor has all of the games that our players are looking for. In addition, while the market for table games has also shown declines as gaming becomes more segmented, this rate of decline is not as significant as we have seen with slots, indicating the possible impact of skill games on slots. In response to this trend, our focus in recent years has been on moving all table games to the front of the building, creating a more energetic atmosphere as soon as you enter the casino. We have also introduced new games and wagering options to keep our game offerings fresh and exciting. This includes DJ Wildcard Poker, Bonus Craps, Inner Block Hybrid Craps, and 5 Treasures Wager on Midi-Block. Additionally, we are proud to be the first state to offer a statewide table game progressive. This is available at PNRC, York, Morgantown, and the Meadows. Since its launch in December of 2022, this progressive has been significant. Amounts wagered and won, with 3 of the largest jackpots occurring at our Meadows property, and the most recent being a 5-card jackpot of $837,000. These advancements in our table game offerings aim to entice players with the new and exciting opportunities to try their luck and win big. Next, we'll move into sports wagering. The first, as Tony mentioned earlier, the first legal sports wager in Pennsylvania was taken at PNRC on November 17th, 2018, making a significant milestone for the state. Following this event, we saw an immediate increase in foot traffic, including visitors from out of state eager to participate in the excitement of legal sports betting. In the third quarter of 2019, we introduced online sports betting, expanding our offerings to reach a wider audience. However, since its inception, retail sports betting business has experienced stagnation. To address this challenge and create a truly unique experience for our patrons, we have been working diligently on creating an entertainment experience for those who come in to wager on the property. This includes a recent partnership with the Phillies. I apologize for the pause there. I was worried I would say Red Sox because I'm from New England, so I wanted to say it right. The Phillies Red Sox. Oh my God, I'm not going to keep going. All right, so anyway, we are hosting food eating contests, providing comfortable lounge chairs for optimal viewing, and offering a variety of yard games and contests to engage our audience. These efforts aim to provide a compelling reason for sports fans to choose our venue as their preferred destination to watch the game, cultivating a vibrant and engaging atmosphere for them to visit. Next, I'm going to talk through the VGT business. Currently, our operation includes 31 locations, each equipped with 5 video gaming terminals, 23 Rutter's location, and 8 TA. Our first location opened on August 15th, 2019, in partnership with Rutter's in York. A significant portion of our statewide VGT gross revenue since 2019 can be attributed to the Rutter's, accounting over 58% of the total. Marquee, our establishment, employs 15 individuals at these stores. We have observed a decline in revenue at these locations as well. As you can see from the graph, despite us
increasing the locations, we are starting to see a decline in revenue, indicating the impact again on skill games of our operation. This serves as evidence that the landscape of gaming is evolving, and we are continuously adapting to meet the changing demands for our customers in the market. One thing to highlight on this slide is the bottom right-hand side is an example of a slot machine, a VGT, and a skill game. So as you can see from a customer perspective, it really doesn't look much difference. So when they're looking to game, it's likely that it's not gonna matter to them where they're going to play. As it relates to racing, the health of live horse racing is closely tied to the revenue generated from slots. As slot revenues have declined due to the market segmentation and the rise of skill games, the amount transferred to the Pennsylvania Racehorse Development Fund has decreased significantly by 42% from fiscal year 18-19 to fiscal year 23-24. In order to maintain stable purses for horse racing, we have been forced to reduce the number of racing days each year. One notable event, Penn Mile, featured Hall of Fame jockeys Frankie Dettori and Javier Castellano and achieved a record handle of $5.7 million. In partnership with the HBPA, we also introduced unique exhibition races such as camels, ostriches, and zebras, drawing a crowd of over 8,000 people, which was a record-setting attendance for us. Additionally, we host a variety of community events, and upcoming we have Community Day, Fan Appreciation Night, Pink Out Night, and Penn Heroes Night, all aimed at creating a vibrant and engaging atmosphere at the racetrack. These initiatives are essential in ensuring the continued success and growth of live horse racing in Pennsylvania. As the gaming landscape continues to evolve with increasing number of options for players, we remain committed to creating innovative events and experiences to attract new customers to the casino. One of our recent successful initiatives is the Hollywood Outdoor Concert Series, now in its 4th year. Recently, we celebrated the first sellout, showcasing our commitment. Notably, for every ticket that we sell, $2 of each sale is dedicated to the Pennsylvania Veterans Fund Trust. We recently had our first sold-out show of over 5,000 attendees, and this was for Sam Hunt just a few weekends ago. Over the past 4 years, we have welcomed nearly 100,000 visitors to these concerts, with many coming outside of the Dauphin County, highlighting the draw and appeal to art events. In addition to the concert series, we offer unique pop-up experiences such as our recent Taylor Swift-inspired Lavender Haze and our Rock On pop-up that is in line with our concert series, providing guests with a dynamic and engaging activity beyond just traditional gaming. Furthermore, our Lantern Festival captures the imagination of visitors, offering a memorable and enhancing experience at our casino. These events and experiences are designed not only to entertain and engage our patrons, but also to showcase our commitment to providing exceptional entertainment and community-focused initiatives. And with that, I will turn it over to Kim Rico.
Thanks, Michelle. Currently, we have 657 team members, plus 84 additional seasonal outdoor event reps and stagehands, 99% of which are PA residents. 38% are female, 24% are racial minorities, 68% are full-time, and 32% are part-time. As compared to December of 2018, we have 33% fewer team members as the business has contracted due to market segmentation. Penn Interactive is the only iGaming company based in PA, whereas 99% of land-based gaming employees are PA residents. Only 27% of Penn Interactive's employees are PA residents, and that is likely by far the highest of any iGaming operator. Land-based gaming creates more Pennsylvania jobs than any form of expanded gaming. While we are smaller than we were in 2018, we are more diverse. Our racial minority went from 20% to 24%. As compared to Dauphin and Lebanon counties combined, we have 100% PA residents, 51% female, and 30% racial minority. For exempt professionals, 2018 versus 2024, women went from 31% to 36%, and racial minorities from 10% to 16%. Over the years, we have increased our workforce development opportunities. Penn Women is a group of committed leaders who diligently work to equip others with the tools that foster networking, bolster confidence, and cultivate leadership skills. Our Emerging Leaders program aims to equip inspiring team members with the skills to take the next step to become a supervisor or manager. Additionally, we offer multiple free training opportunities and certifications in security to encourage retention. Our turnover did spike in 2022 to 2023, as did many organizations, largely due to macro trends with wage increases and remote working. There's no public transportation from Harrisburg, Lebanon counties to Grantville, but we have been working with Commute PA to help commuters explore transportation options. At Penn National Racecourse, we want team members to find their fun and create monthly activities and challenges. We have several annual events where we incorporate team member families into these events, such as with our Penn Fest in the spring, our summer outing, Halloween, and our Winter Wonderland. With that, I'll turn it over to Alex Vizza to discuss our community.
All right, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Regarding our community contributions, you can see there in the chart on the left that over the last several years, we have exponentially increased our charitable contributions. The dark green bar is cash contributions and the light green is in kind. And that is because whatever events we're doing, we're always thinking of how can we add a charity component to it. So as Michelle mentioned, with the concert series, we donate $2 from every ticket sold to the Pennsylvania Veterans Trust Fund. We also use those tickets to provide experiences for individuals. So in April, we had the opportunity to meet with Vista Autism Services just outside of Hershey and tour their facility and learn about their struggles and challenges. So Vista provides a learning environment for individuals on the moderate to severe side of the autism spectrum. And it's something that's very close to all of us, including Tony here, whose son is on the spectrum. And while we don't want to do anything directly with children for responsible gaming reasons, we learned about their high burnout rate amongst teacher and staff members, because while it's a very rewarding job, it's also a very difficult job. So we got creative and we figured we would give every staff member, all faculty and staff, all 355 of them, 2 tickets to any one of our concerts so that they can have a night out to relax and enjoy themselves. Some of our partner organizations, we try to partner with first responders, with women's health, with other health with food security, and with other health organizations. So Grantville Fire Company, who you'll hear from later today, over the years we've donated over $150,000 to them. They've been instrumental in helping us with the non-gaming activities we're doing, such as concerts, getting everybody in safely, getting them parked, and then getting them back out safely. As I mentioned, the PA Veterans Trust Fund, we started working with them because they have the facilities and the resources to vet all the various different charities, veterans organizations that are out there. One of which, I'll come back to that one. The Central Pennsylvania Food Bank, we've been working with them for years. They're featured along with Pennsylvania Veterans Trust Fund on our ticket redemption units, where you can donate the leftover change from your slot tickets right through the unit, and it goes directly to these organizations. We've been working with the PA Breast Cancer Coalition for at least 10 years now, and we do a pink out night at the races for them at the end of October. So you can see there all the jockeys and the horses are in pink silks, and we have different activities going on during that time period. We also work with what was formerly called Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund, but they're now called Breakthrough T1D because they focus more on adults with type 1 diabetes. They help us out at the concerts as well, and we work with them. So we provide opportunities for customers to participate, whether it's the $2 per ticket or donating their leftover slot vouchers or donating items. We also provide team members the opportunity to support our organizations through our team member payroll contributions program, where they can opt to donate either $5 or $10 per paycheck. And then we also reward them with things like free tickets, 2 free tickets to Hershey Park, and tickets to our concert series, and then Award Co points, which is our team member awards program that's run through Amazon. On the red line there is the Dauphin County Gaming Grants amount. So the gaming grants for Dauphin County come from the local share. And you can see that that has increased substantially over the last few years to the awards that were issued earlier this year were $9.1 million, the highest ever. And those funds, so with the impact of expanded gaming and skill games depressing our revenues in terms of slots and tables at the retail property, the amount that's coming into the Dauphin County Gaming Grant Fund from our contributions is decreasing from the property, but because we were innovative with expanded gaming, we have our iGaming certificate, which we run HollywoodCasino.com on, and we have market access agreements with DraftKings Casino, BetMGM Casino, and BetFanatics Casino. And the local share that comes from those 3 casinos is benefiting Dauphin County since they sit on our license in Dauphin County. So the health of that is very strong, and the county's being able to touch even more organizations than ever before. One of them, I think you've probably seen in the news here, was the Veterans Outreach, the Tiny Home Village for veterans getting back into the workforce and into society downtown. And I believe they received over like $400,000 over the year from the Dauphin County Gaming Advisory Board. So one of the things coming out of COVID, when we sort of had to pull back on everything, was we wanted to start just using our hands and our feet as opposed to just our checkbooks. So we are approached, and you'll hear from Ben later, by Capital Area Therapeutic Riding Association, and it's been just a wonderful group to work with. They operate an equine therapy farm almost across the street from us, and they've been doing so there since 1985. It's for all ages. 96% of their riders are Dauphin County residents, and over 1,000 Dauphin County residents have volunteered, and over 1,000 Dauphin County residents have donated to CATRA. And we've had dozens of team members volunteer hundreds of hours doing farm chores, beautification projects, setting up and tearing down events, assisting with riding lessons, and we found that some of our team members actually have family members who receive services from CATRA, so they've been extra inclined to go over and help out. You can see on the right there, we've tried to use all of our resources. So on the right there, facilities took their kitchenette area and was able to go in and repaint everything, give it a fresh coat, and then on the bottom there, we had done some updating of our HR training room after 15 years, and we were able to repurpose the cabinets from there to help out CATRA. We've also had our marketing department assist with promoting CATRA on our social media to over 100,000 followers. Our F&B department assists with hosting their annual fundraising gala at the property. And compliance, we've assisted them with helping to apply for a Klein Family Foundation grant and also for a Dauphin County Gaming Grant, which they were awarded back in February, and they were able to purchase that new much-needed gator in the bottom there, and we're helping them, again, apply for a compact excavator, fingers crossed, this year. We also work with Wreaths Across America, laying wreaths at Fort Indian Town Gap during the holidays, and we've worked with Blessed to Give, which is a program for at-risk youth in Harrisburg. And with them, they provide us names at the holidays and of the children and their age, and we go and get Christmas gifts that are delivered to them, and then we brought them out to the property for the camels, ostriches, and zebras race, so the kids could play on the different activities we have there, and they got to go in the winner's circle and present the trophy for one of the races that day. So like I said, we're always trying to figure out ways to be innovative with our community outreach, to really be a partner with our community. And with that, I think, I don't know if we go to questions or to their presentation.
Before we forget, would you like to move your PowerPoint? And
I
anything
have,
else?
we have, actually, are we off?
Yeah, you're on.
All right. We have 5 exhibits. If now would be the appropriate time, I could move all of those into the record?
Yes.
Or ask they be moved into the record more precisely?
Yes.
So I'm going to hand up a package, with your permission, in a moment to the court reporter. But we are moving these 5 items in. I've also provided them to OEC, and I think they'll hopefully confirm no objection. First is written testimony in support of the relicensing by Dauphin County Commissioner George Hartwick, who's the chairman of the board. Second document is Hollywood Casino at Penn National Racecourse public input hearing presentation that you just saw and have copies of. Third item is a letter of support from Jennifer Pessinger, who's the executive director from the PA Breast Cancer Coalition, again in support of relicensing. Fourth, another letter of support in licensing from the chief executive officer of Vista Autism Services that Alex talked about. And finally, a letter of support from Joe Arthur, who's the CEO of the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank. So we would like to move those into the record if there's no objection.
Any objection from Enforcement
objection
Council?
from OEC.
No. Okay, for housekeeping purposes, I'm going to mark your PowerPoint as Penn National Exhibit number 1.
However you
Or-
wish, I actually have marked them with exhibit tabs.
Oh,
and-
okay.
and they're marked in the order in which I stated them. So 1 would be the Dauphin County letter, 2 would be the PowerPoint.
Of course, Adrian, thank you.
I'm just saying that's just the way they happen to be marked, but I leave it up
Oh,
to you.
goodness, okay.
I apologize.
That's quite all right, okay. We'll get those up on our website
Okay.
in the next day
My
or so.
apologies.
So moving to Office of Enforcement Counsel, do you have any questions for Penn National's witnesses?
Just a few. You actually answered most of them in the presentation, so. Thank you, Director Lloyd. Good morning, Chair, members of the board. Elizabeth Boehm, ELIZABETH, BOEHM, Assistant Enforcement Counsel with the Office of Enforcement Counsel. I think slide 7 would be the most on point for this one, but just relates to a few employment questions. You mentioned benefits for team members. How long must team members work before they're eligible for benefits?
30 days.
Okay. And are part-time workers eligible for any benefits?
Not full-time health benefits, but they do have some benefits. I'll let Kim elaborate on that.
Paid time off, so they're eligible for paid time off. We offer other opportunities, like we have what's called Cashable, so it's financial literacy for team members, so that's available to all team members.
And do you know about how many of your promotions have been internal? I think people, you said, tend to stay with the company.
So from 2018 to 2024, we had 73 hourly to salary promotions. Of those 73, 45% were females, 21% were racial minorities, and 68% were under the age of 40.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I will just move on. And then going to slide 11, I believe would be the next. Do you have, are there plans to further reduce the percentage of the floor that is smoking?
There is not.
And regarding, I believe, slide 19 perhaps? There wasn't really a mention of this, but can you say how many, what departments receive unattended minor training? I don't believe that was touched on.
So the unattended minor training is included within the responsible gaming training that all team members receive upon hire and at least annually thereafter. And that training is conducted by the Council on Compulsive and Problem Gambling of Pennsylvania. However, our security leadership and our surveillance leadership get what we call Tier 2 training, which includes advanced information about unattended minors and communications with on-site board staff, PSP, and local PD if we have that in the area.
That's everything I have.
Okay, Mr. King, do you have any follow-up questions for your witnesses based on that testimony?
No follow-up questions.
Okay, that will turn,
Presentation.
okay, I'll return to our board members. Okay, I will start with Commissioner Hinkernell.
No questions.
Okay.
No questions.
No questions? See, that was easy. And I'm Chair Smiler.
And I'm not sure I saw under benefits, do you have a tuition reimbursement program?
We do.
And what would that be?
We reimburse for master's degrees as well as undergrads. We can get you the exact amounts. I don't want to quote it here and be misquoting something, so I'll make sure we provide that to you.
Okay, thank you. And with regard to recruiting minorities for employment, what efforts do you make to do that?
Well, I can speak to some of those. So we recently started a Penn Diversity Scholarship a few years ago, which is a $1 million grant that we put out to employees that are in need of support for first-time college students through their families. We also have partnered with HBCUs through Justin Carter, who leads our diversity efforts at the Penn entertainment level, to bring diverse candidates and executives into our business and get them exposed to the casino operators inside of the Penn entertainment ecosystem. Reuben Warren, who's also our general manager at York, was just recently out at an event in Georgia that was working with a black group that was focused on bringing more minorities into our businesses and supporting the growth of those folks inside of gaming. So those are some of the corporate-wide initiatives that we have, and those funnel down to the property. We also, a group like Best to Give, which is a minority group, we've partnered with them and we've had conversations with the leadership of that team about, they have students that are getting into the ages of 18 that need work opportunities. So we've talked to them about the opportunities that gaming present, and I think that's one of the benefits of the relationships that we have, that we can bring back to folks like that to show that we have great paying jobs that can really help them progress inside of society. So those are some of the efforts that we do on the company level and the property level, and we're going to continue to do everything we can to drive them into our business and be as diverse, because we know we live in a diverse world and we have a diverse community, and we want to be as open as we can be.
And I'll just add, I mean, the proof is in the pudding there. You can see that the number of racial minority employees has been increasing over the last several years, which I would attribute directly to the strategies that we have had going out to different job fairs, and actually focusing on engagement and diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging training at the properties, so that the existing racial minority employees that we have are acting as recruiters for us. That both they get a recruiting bonus if they bring in another employee, but talking about what it's actually like working at our property, and that you actually do belong no matter who you are or where you come from. The other thing I would note is, to Kim's point, so our property actually straddles the Dauphin County, and a part of it goes over into Lebanon County. And so if we look at the racial makeup of those two counties, if I pull those numbers out of the Diversity Department's annual report that they sent out, we're right in line with what you would expect for our location. So we use that sort of as benchmarking, but we are always trying to compete against many jobs that are work from home. I mean, there's most casino jobs you can't do from home. So we are trying to show the fun of it, include your family, as we showed in our engagement, and that it's a fast track to a career. We always talk about the individuals. I think Tony will always tell you he started out parking cars many years ago. And so we want to show people that this is not just a job, this is a career path that you could start with us.
Thanks for the many years ago comment.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate you using Dauphin County as a benchmark, but there are people who are outside of the counties, Lebanon and Dauphin, who are more than willing, I'm sure, to come and work here if you spread the word a little more broadly.
Yes, and
And I think your corporate efforts are good, working with HBCUs and other states. So.
Yes, and one that I actually failed to mention is we recently sponsored an event in Philadelphia that was focused on minority college graduates. I think it was Alpha Omega, and they were hosting an event there. We sponsored that event and made sure we had a presence there to try and attract and those folks in there into our business as well.
Great. Also, who selects the animals other than horses for races? Camels, ostriches, zebras?
You know, it's sometimes these things just come to you, but and they present themselves as an opportunity. But Eric Johnston, who might be with us today, our director of racing, really, I think looks at fun, creative ways to bring events and it was a really unbelievable day to see that many folks at our property parked around, and we had the Philly Fanatic there as well through our partnership with the Philadelphia Phillies, not the Red Sox, to really bring something I think unique to the community that we can be proud of. And we just had our family day again this past Friday, which we had bounce houses, we had rock climbing walls, we had the beanbag toss, the cornhole, right? Cornhole, we had that, and chalk and things like that. So we try to do things around the racing community that involve families and are able to support folks to give them something fun to come out and enjoy.
Well, thank you. And Michelle, you might want to eliminate Red Sox from your vocabulary while you're here.
Lesson learned.
So, Mr. King, any information you want to provide, I believe, an answer to questions, if you just send those to the board clerk, we'll make sure they get distributed. Any follow-up questions from anyone based on the responses to those questions? Seeing none, we will move to our Office of Enforcement Counsel for their presentation.
Thank you, Director Lloyd. Prior to this hearing, can you hear me? Prior to this hearing, the Office of Enforcement Counsel provided the board and Hollywood Casino with documents marked as OEC Exhibits 1 through 9, which relate to Hollywood Casino's renewal application for its renewal application here. The Office of Enforcement Counsel and Hollywood Casino entered into stipulations regarding the admissibility and authenticity of these exhibits. This includes the Pennsylvania State Police's report with data obtained from the National Incident-Based Reporting System from 2018 through 2023. It addresses criminal incidences that occurred at Hollywood Casino since the time of its last renewal. This report is marked as OEC Exhibit 1, with year 2019 of this report marked as OEC Exhibit 1A. On July 22nd, 2024, the Bureau of Liquor Control Enforcement issued a letter to the Office of Enforcement Counsel indicating no actions taken against the licensee since its last renewal. This letter is marked as OEC Exhibit 2. On August 9th, 2024, the board's Office of Compulsive and Problem Gambling issued a memorandum regarding Hollywood Casino's compliance with its casino and iGaming compulsive and problem gambling plans. This memo is marked as OEC Exhibit 3. On July 17th, 2024, the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue Bureau of Compliance provided a copy of Hollywood Casino's statement of account confirming Hollywood Casino is in good standing with the Department of Revenue. This is marked as OEC Exhibit 4. On July 15th, 2024, the Pennsylvania State Horse Racing Commission issued a letter to OEC indicating the licensee is in good standing with the commission. This letter is marked as OEC Exhibit 5. The Office of Enforcement Counsel's Exhibits 6, 7, and 8 are not before you today, but remain accessible through a shared link previously provided to Hollywood Casino and members of the board. Since the last renewal, the Office of Enforcement Counsel and the licensee entered into 10 board-approved consent agreements. Together, these are marked as OEC Exhibit 6. The Office of Enforcement Counsel and the licensee conducted 5 compliance conference memorandums since the last renewal. Together, these are marked as OEC Exhibit 7. The Office of Enforcement Counsel issued 20 warning letters since the last renewal. In each instance where an answer was required, the licensee responded to the Office of Enforcement Counsel's letters detailing corrective actions taken to address the Office of Enforcement Counsel's concerns. These are jointly marked as OEC Exhibit 8. Finally, the Office of Enforcement Counsel and Hollywood Casinos stipulation of facts and admission of evidence executed by the parties on August 21st, 2024, is included and marked as OEC Exhibit 9. At this time, the Office of Enforcement Counsel respectfully requests that Exhibits 1 through 9 be entered into the record, with Exhibits 6, 7, 8, and 9 be marked as confidential.
No objection.
Okay, the request for confidentiality, exhibit number 6, your consent agreements, those are public documents
I'm sorry, I have the
and are
numbers.
provided, so we'll accept the documents marking as confidential, exhibits 7, 8, and 9.
No objection.
The Office of Enforcement Counsel will call 3
Go ahead.
We'll call 3 witnesses today to testify about Hollywood Casino for your benefit. The witnesses are from the Pennsylvania State Police, the Board's Bureau of Casino Compliance, and the Board's Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement. And I will now turn the presentation over to co-counsel.
Thank you, Director Lloyd. Good morning, members of the board. Shelby Bizup, B-I-Z-U-B, Assistant Enforcement Counsel. OEC calls Sergeant Snow, Pennsylvania State Police.
Can you move your mic a little closer? Do you want to move that out, Richard, and we'll... And while he's doing that, Sergeant Snow, I don't remember seeing you stand to be sworn. Did you? Okay, we'll have the court reporter swear you in before you provide testimony.
Thank you. Do you swear, do you affirm to tell nothing but the truth today? I do. All right, thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Sergeant. Please state and spell your name.
First name William, last name Snell, W-I-L-I-A-M-S-N-O-W.
Can you please describe your career with the Pennsylvania State Police?
Yes, I've been employed by the Pennsylvania State Police for 18 years. I was stationed in Troop K, Philadelphia for 15 years. During that time, I served in patrol, vehicle fraud unit, and patrol supervisor as a corporal. From Troop K, Philadelphia, I was assigned to Troop K, King and Pressure for 1 year, promoted to the rank of sergeant in September of 2023, and assigned to Troop J as a patrol section supervisor. I transferred to the Bureau of Gaming in January 2024. My current position is Office Commander of Hollywood Casino.
And can you please describe your duties in your current position?
Currently employed by the Pennsylvania State Police Bureau of Gaming Enforcement. I'm currently assigned as the Office Commander at Hollywood Casino. I'm responsible for the operations and supervision of the Hollywood Gaming Office. I'm also responsible for several administrative duties, as well as helping sustain relationships with casino employees.
And what is the role of the Pennsylvania State Police Bureau of Gaming Enforcement at Hollywood Casino?
Our role is to provide police services to the Hollywood Casino. This includes any criminal activity or suspected criminal activity that occurs on the gaming floor, gaming-related areas, casino administrative offices, and the employee areas.
And regarding the police jurisdiction of Hollywood Casino, you testified that the Pennsylvania State Police are responsible for the gaming floor and gaming-related areas. Does PSP share jurisdiction of Hollywood Casino with any other law enforcement agency?
There is no local enforcement agency, so PSP has primary police jurisdiction of Hollywood Casino. This includes Hollywood parking lots, garages, and other public areas of the casino.
And can you please describe the working relationship between PSP and Hollywood Casino personnel?
Yes, we work very well with the Hollywood Casino employees. Most of the employees are accustomed to seeing us patrolling the areas of the casino. The troopers often interact with the casino surveillance and security departments.
Are the Pennsylvania State Police satisfied with the level of cooperation between the staff at Hollywood Casino and the troopers stationed within the facility?
Yes, we maintain a professional and cooperative working relationship with all the staff.
Can you please describe the working relationship that PSP personnel have with personnel from the board's Bureau of Casino Compliance assigned to Hollywood?
Yes, it is also a very excellent working relationship. The troopers often interact with them while conducting their investigations. Their office is located close to our office, so it's easy for the troopers to communicate and walk over there when needed.
Are you familiar with how the Pennsylvania State Police track Hollywood Casino's crime statistics?
Yes.
Can you briefly describe how those statistics are recorded?
So as of January 1st, 2021, PSB began the transition from Summary Uniform Crime Reporting, which is UCR, to the National Incident-Based Reporting System, which is NIBRS. So NIBRS was designed to provide more comprehensive reporting system concerning the occurrence of crime when compared to the traditional UCR summary reporting system. It accomplished this by reporting all offenses within an incident rather than just reporting the most serious offense. There are more offense types to choose from.
Can you briefly describe how reporting of criminal statistics has changed since 2021?
So the FBI Uniform Crime Reporting Program was designed as a summary UCR system to collect only the most serious offense within an incident. In 2014, the FBI announced that the National Incident-Based Reporting System will be the new UCR standard starting on January 1st, 2021. The traditional UCR system, reporting system collects monthly counts of the number of crimes known to law enforcement from agencies throughout the United States. Information on the number of crimes known is recorded for 8 offense categories, based on the most serious crimes reported for each crime incident. Rather than manually submitting UCR information via direct entry, stations upload files containing the required NIBRS data. Additionally, the FBI transition to NIBRS will allow for more detailed crime collection data and greater specificity, including up to 10 offenses under the most serious primary offense.
I'm going to direct you to what has been provided as OEC Exhibit 1. Can you identify this document and where this information comes from?
This is the crime compiled from NIBRS and UCR system from January 2018 through August 25th, 2024.
In calculating the crime statistics, how is one individual being arrested for multiple offenses reflected?
The Senate report is not designed to calculate that specific statistic. For the common label counts refers to the number of charges filed under the corresponding offense and not the number of individuals charged with the offense. However, the total number of individuals arrested is listed at the end of the statistics for each year.
What years are reflected in this document?
The Senate report spans from 2018 to 2023. Since Senate reports are calculated annually in January from the previous year, the Senate report covering 2024 would not be available until January 2025.
Have you reviewed the arrest statistics for Hollywood Casino for the time period represented?
Yes.
What criminal offenses has the greatest number of incidents reported based on the information provided in OEC Exhibit 1?
So that would be out of Title 18, Section 3503, defining trespass, actual communication to the actor.
Can you give an example of the type of conduct that results in a person being charged with this type of offense?
Yes, any patron who is determined to commit some act of misconduct can be subject to a property ban issued by the Hollywood Casino Security. If the patron returns, they are subject of an active property ban and criminal charges. Additionally, when an individual signs up for a self-exclusion through the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board website and enter the property prior to their removal from the list, they are subject to a criminal charge.
Is there any reason or explanation for why this offense has occurred at the reported level?
No specific reason or explanation, but it has been my observation the Hollywood Casino maintains an extensive property ban and self-exclusion list consisting of 758 individuals. So on-site misconduct is where a patron refuses to leave the property after being directed by either Hollywood Casino Security or a PSP member will result in the criminal charge of trespassing.
And regarding other offenses occurring at Hollywood Casino, how common are theft offenses at Hollywood Casino?
Theft is common due to the various types. The most common theft charge is Title 18, Section 3924, theft of property, lost, mislaid, or delivered by mistake. First example would be, when a patron has finished playing a slot machine and forgets to remove their remaining balance of credits, a new patron plays the same slot machine and used the balance of credits, knowing that they did not have them. There's another example that I have. A patron playing a slot machine forgets to take their cell phone or wallet, and someone finds it and takes it without turning it in.
And how common are violent crimes?
Not common.
How common are crimes involving individuals under 21 years old?
Not common.
And throughout your assignment at Hollywood Casino, and after reviewing this data, have you noticed any patterns or trends in the type of offenses occurring at Hollywood Casino?
No.
And are you aware of any issues or concerns which would negatively impact Hollywood Casino's suitability for continued licensure?
No.
Thank you. OEC has no further questions. I will now turn it over to Cole Counsel.
I will ask Mr. King if he has any questions for the witness.
No questions, and thank you, Sergeant, to you and your team for all your hard work at the property.
Any questions from our board members? Seeing none? Thank you, Sergeant.
The Office of Enforcement Counsel calls Trevor Hasenbein from the board's Bureau of Casino Compliance.
And I didn't notice, were you sworn in?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, I'll have the court reporter swear you in right now.
Yes.
Morning. Please state and spell your full name.
Trevor Hasenbein, TREVORHASSENBEIN.
Are you employed by the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board?
Yes.
And what is your title?
Casino Compliance Supervisor.
How long have you held this position?
Since 2010.
And have you previously held any other positions with the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board?
Yes, I worked as a compliance representative from 2008 to 2010, and then from 2018 to 2021, I worked in several positions for the gaming expansion.
And what are the responsibilities you hold in your position with Hollywood Casino?
General
with Bureau of
oversight.
Casino Compliance.
Sure. General oversight of casino operations to make sure they're following regulations and internal controls. And we also take patron complaints and other correspondences and assignments from our PGCB headquarters.
And does this include interaction with the Department of Revenue regarding Hollywood Casino?
Yes.
Okay, and can you describe that interaction?
Yes, we work with them on a daily basis through system notifications, alerts, communication of new casino projects to ensure that they're getting all the revenue information that they require.
And can you describe the role of the Bureau of Casino Compliance at a licensed Pennsylvania casino?
Yes, for the on-site compliance oversight of their operations, we'll assist patrons when they have contacts, questions, we'll research their complaints, we'll assist patrons to sign up for self-exclusion, and any other assignments that come from our headquarters.
And can you describe the type of access the Bureau of Casino Compliance has within Hollywood Casino in these following departments? The surveillance room.
Surveillance room with total access and good communications with that department.
And the count room?
Same, we have access to that, and we also communicate with them daily.
The central control computer room?
We have access to those, and we follow the access procedures prescribed by Department of Revenue, and we don't access that too often, but as needed in conjunction with the casino security staff.
And were there any issues with the connectivity regarding the central control computer at Hollywood Casino during the renewal period?
No, between our BCC staff, the casino staff, and DOR's central control operator, we've all communicated, used our application and system tools to ensure revenue is being recorded properly.
Okay. And are there any other important departments?
Yes, sports wagering, the HR department, even housekeeping facilities. We work well with all those departments for different needs to make sure we're serving the public and we're meeting our regulatory goals.
And was there ever a need for emergency access to any of Hollywood Casino's departments during the renewal period?
Nothing too significant or extraordinary comes to mind, other than maybe some small water leaks from a condensation from a cooling system. That would be the best example that comes to mind.
And does the Bureau of Casino Compliance interact with Hollywood casino patrons?
Yes.
Does the Bureau of Casino Compliance respond to patron complaints?
Yes.
How so?
Either through floor interaction when we're monitoring the floor, or typically through correspondence from our website that our executive administrative staff will send us to research and review. And through that, we'll always consistently follow up with the patrons for any complaints or contacts, big or small.
And does the Bureau of Casino Compliance conduct self-exclusion intakes?
Yes, or more so nowadays with the self-service system online, we'll assist them to, if they request, to ensure they have the opportunity to enroll themselves.
Can you describe the process of the in-person self-exclusion intakes for you?
Yes, we'll go through a list of questions and obtain confirming their identification and photos to provide us with the tools so they seek the benefits of enrolling in that program.
And can you describe the relationship between the Bureau of Casino Compliance and members of the Pennsylvania State Police that are on site at Hollywood Casino?
Very good, very professional and cordial, and open door policy, so we're always there to assist each other.
Can you describe the relationship between the Bureau of Casino Compliance and Hollywood Casino staff?
Again, professional and cordial, and again, very, very open communication and on a consistent basis.
Has Hollywood Casino staff been cooperative in compliance reviews conducted by the Bureau of Casino Compliance?
Yes, they've been very responsive and forward with providing any requested documents or information.
And are you familiar with the typical regulatory issues found at Pennsylvania casinos in general?
Yes.
Are the regulatory issues that occur at Hollywood Casino comparable to the regulatory issues found at other Pennsylvania casinos?
Yes, I would say so.
Are there any issues or concerns that would negatively impact Hollywood Casino's suitability for continued licensure?
No, none that I'm aware of.
Office of Enforcement Counsel has no further questions.
Any questions, Mr. King?
No questions from us, and again, we thank the Bureau of Casino Compliance and Trevor and his team for all their professionalism and hard work at our property. Thank you.
Same. Thank you.
Any questions from board members? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. The Office of Enforcement Counsel will now call its final witness, Elizabeth Kotzmeyer from the Board's Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement.
And I do believe I saw you did
Yes, ma'am.
swear yourself
Stand
in.
up and
Okay.
swear in, yes.
Okay. Would you please state your full name and spell your first and last name?
My name is Elizabeth Kotzmeyer, that's spelled Elizabeth, and my last name is spelled Kotbmoyer.
Are you employed by the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board?
Yes,
And what is your title?
I'm an investigator.
And how long have you held these positions?
I was an investigator. I was promoted to an investigator in 2010, and then case agent in 2011 to present day.
And have you previously held any other positions with the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board?
Yes, I was an investigative analyst initially when I started in 2007, and I held that until 2010.
What are your responsibilities as an investigator for the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement?
So my role as an investigator is to perform background investigations on individuals that seek licenses such as G2 permits, keys, principals. We also do background investigations on companies that want to do business within the state of Pennsylvania with the casinos, and then any miscellaneous investigations that come up.
And what are your responsibilities as a case agent for the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement?
So as a case agent, I visit the casinos once a month, and then in addition to that, I'm responsible for the renewal of their licenses, the Facility 1, Category 1.
And did you conduct the investigation of Hollywood Casino for its slot machine license renewal application?
I did.
When did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement begin its renewal investigation into Hollywood Casino?
And that was June 2023.
Can you describe the scope of the investigation?
The scope of the investigation included, but was not limited to, a review and confirmation of the information that was provided in the facility application, searches related to tax liens, judgments, civil litigation, criminal history, a review of the financial facility report, which was conducted and completed by the Financial Investigations Unit, an interview, and also a verification of the liquor license with the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board. A completed detailed report of investigation was done on November 7th, 2023.
And did this also include a review of the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board regulatory history?
Yes.
And a review of any enforcement actions taken against Hollywood Casino by the Office of Enforcement
Yes.
Counsel? Did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement review the renewal applications filed by Hollywood Casino, its principals, principal entities, and affiliates?
Yes.
And does this investigation include a review of Hollywood Casino from the date of its last slot machine license renewal to present?
Yes.
Has Hollywood personnel been cooperative during the investigation?
Yes.
Is this investigation complete?
Yes.
And did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement discover any areas of interest during the course of the investigation?
No.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. King, any questions?
No questions. Thank you, Elizabeth.
And board members?
Did I hear you correctly that you visit the casino once a month?
Yes.
And what is the purpose of that visit?
It's to keep communication open, and so that if they have any, so they can place a name with a face as far as for the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement. When I conduct interviews, a lot of times I'll reach out to my applicants so they know who the investigator was, especially with like the executive management team. So they know who they're dealing with at the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board.
And why only once a month?
I rotate through the casinos, so I go to Granville and then York and then Morgantown. So that would be Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement's policy.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't want Hollywood to think that we just gave OEC a free ride.
I would say we increased their workload through all of our satellites.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have nothing further, Director Lloyd, but we thank you for your time and your attention.
Okay. Okay, we will move on to our public input portion of the hearing. I do have 2 written comments that were submitted for this hearing. One has already been entered by Hollywood Casino, and that is comments from George Hartwick from Dauphin County Commissioners. And the second one is an individual who just says, "Hi, how are you?" But it was submitted, so it will be put on our website as public comment to the hearing. And that will be marked as hearing exhibit number 1, unless I hear any objections from either
No
party.
objection.
So anyone who is registered for today's hearing to speak publicly, if you could stand and raise your right hand to be sworn.
Good morning. Do you swear? If you don't swear, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was like, wait, I said the same thing. Good morning. Do you swear if you don't swear, do you affirm to tell nothing but the truth today? All right, thank you. Lower your hands.
Okay. You'll each have about 5 minutes to speak, and if you're getting close to your time, I'll let you know. But there's only, I think, 2 or 3 of you, so we'll call Mr. Ben Nolt first, if you come up to the podium, and he is from the Capital Area Therapeutic Riding Association.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Ben Nolt, P-E-N-N-O-L-T. I'm the co-founder and president of the Capital Area Therapeutic Riding Association. CATRA began in the fall of 1985 to bring a quality therapeutic riding program to the central Pennsylvania area. So nearly 40 years of service. So we really are proud of that track record. The majority of the activities that happens at CATRA are volunteer, coordinated, volunteer driven. And to have a community partner that recognizes that and comes out and turns out in force, to see Alex as you see him in a suit and tie most of the time, I see him in boots and blue jeans. So he comes out and there's no task that his crew will not do. And that, from a nonprofit perspective, is so vital to our mission. Of course, the other assistance is the financial side of things and the financial guidance that comes through. So you saw the slides there. I can't hardly say anything else about the involvement both ways. One thing unique about this partnership is the creation of ability for recognition of CATRA. When we go out on their website and reach 100,000 people instantly, we can't do that as a small nonprofit. And also the interaction that we have back and forth by taking our crew on to Penn National for various activities, it increases our exposure to new clientele base. When we do talk to folks, we look at people who might benefit by our services. Our youngest participant ever at CATRA was 8 months old, and the oldest was 93. So there's still some hope for some of you in the room here today. The second cause would be the volunteer side, and the third would be the financial support. So as a community partnership, I think we have a great one going, and I thank you very much for it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Grant Garland from the Grantville Volunteer Fire Company.
Hello, my name is Grant Garland, G-R-A-N-T-G-A-R-L-A-N-D. I am the president of the Grantville Volunteer Fire Company. I've been the president, this is now my second term, 2 years, and I was a vice president a year prior to that. So I kind of came into the organization and into the administrative side when we started helping the casino with the parking services for the outdoor concert series. Since we've had an involvement with the casino, they have been very willing to help us create ways for fundraising opportunities for our organization. In a time where it's very hard to find volunteers, it's even harder to keep them. It's nice to have opportunities as such as parking cars where we can give an incentive for volunteers, not just members of our organization, but friends of members or people that we know or individuals that are coming to want to just help the organization and not be a member. They allow us, we park cars until the event starts, until the first song starts, and we shut everything down, and our members have the opportunity to see the show for free. And they feed us, they provide us water and everything we need to accomplish that goal. We also were a subject of a fundraiser that they did, I believe it was last year, where they did the remaining balances on their tickets that they had inside the casino. The $150,000 that we've received over the last several years has been a phenomenal benefit to the organization in helping us achieve our goal and buy equipment that we need to provide public safety service. They're a great team to work with. They're very happy to help wherever they can, and they are very true to their word when they tell us they're willing to help us. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a third name on my list, David Perry, but I only saw 2 people stand. So Mr. Perry is not here. Okay, that is the end of our registrants for public speakers. Did anybody here today think they registered and I didn't call your name? If so, raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll move on to Penn National. Do you have any closing statement?
Yes, and I'll just try to be brief. And I realize this is but one part of the relicensing process. You're not making a decision here today. But I did just want to make the following remarks. Obviously, I think this is a very strongly run, professionally run operation at Grantville. It is everything that the Gaming Act hoped it would be when the Gaming Act was first passed in 2004. It has provided the Commonwealth with everything that it's looking for in terms of tax revenue, economic development, jobs. And I think you've seen that the add-on effect of this property, it is an exemplary, I would say, corporate citizen. It does everything that it should be doing to be part of not only East Hanover Township, the adjacent township in Lebanon County, and Dauphin County. It is a benefit to this area, and it is a benefit to the Commonwealth. And I also wanted to remark that it is part of a broader corporate citizen for Pennsylvania, which is Penn Entertainment, its parent corp. And I just want to note, as you know, it is the only gaming operator in terms of the large publicly traded companies that is not only incorporated in Pennsylvania, not incorporated in Delaware, incorporated right here in Pennsylvania, and headquartered in Wyomissing. And so you have that broader umbrella here. As Alex pointed out in the presentation, has made a massive investment in Pennsylvania, not only in this property, purchasing the Meadows, bidding on and winning 2 projects to build satellites in York and Morgantown, and everything that it's done. I thought it was an incredible list of all the firsts that this property has achieved. And this property is where it all started for Penn Entertainment. This is the flagship property, not only in Pennsylvania, but nationally. And as you know, we're now in over 20 states with 42 properties, more than that, and as well as a presence in Canada. So it is a great success. I'm going to go off topic just briefly, 2 minutes. I will tell you, in my opinion, and somebody who's been observing gaming law since the very beginning, actually from my time in the governor's office when the bill was passed, there should be no doubt to anybody in the room and anybody that you're talking to in the General Assembly or the governor's office, this is all at risk, what we have laid out today, because of skill games. Now, the General Assembly is supposed to start taking that up in the fall if the press reports are to be accurate. Something may happen in the fall, something may happen in the spring. The gaming industry in Pennsylvania has put forth proposals to allow there to be some form of expanded distributed gaming that could very well include skill games. But it must be done the right way. The number of units must be limited. There must be tax parity. Because remember, if you're diverting business out of these brick and mortar casinos, you're losing tax revenue. It's as simple as that. There's no reason to have a lower tax rate. We've already shown through VGTs that distributed gaming can be done at the same tax rate. There must be regulatory parity. This all has to be done responsibly with respect to underage gaming, problem gaming. This is everything that we do every day to make sure that this business is run well. But finally, if it's not done right, there is an example of what happens, and that's Illinois, which had a very healthy casino gaming industry. Distributed gaming was not done in a measured and appropriate fashion, in my opinion. And the casinos suffered greatly. There were layoffs, about 30% of the employees. I don't think anybody wants to see that happen. So my point is, I wanted to take the opportunity, after you've seen all the great work that's been done here with this one casino and this community, and I suspect every casino does the same here. It's all at risk. So I don't want to end on a low note. When we get to the point of you making the decision, I hope the license will be renewed, and we wanted to thank you for your time and attention today.
Enforcement Counsel, any closing statement?
The Office of Enforcement Counsel has no closing statement, but again, thank you for your time and thank you for being here.
Okay. The record will remain open until the board hears the matter at a later public board meeting. I'll prepare a report today based on testimony and evidence entered into the record today. And that report, along with the transcript, all the submitted exhibits and application and suitability report will be provided to the board before they hear this at a future public board meeting. And finally, I want to thank the staff here at East Hanover Township, especially Candy, for helping us organize this hearing today and hosting us in their facility. And thank you all for coming and your cooperation, and the hearing is now adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.